The hotel room feels too quiet. Ethan connects his laptop, the screen lighting up our reflection. He uploads the photos from dinner, each one neatly scanned. Lines of data fill the screen, colors, shadows, digital fingerprints. He zooms in on my face, comparing image after image. "See this," he says softly, pointing at the pixels. Same angle, same expression, same lighting. Exactly identical. My stomach twists. Those pictures span 15 years of my life. Christmas, birthdays, vacations, every memory perfectly repeated. I stare at them, unable to breathe. "That's not possible," I whisper, my throat tightening. Ethan opens a facial recognition program and runs the files. The results blink on screen, a number flashing bright and cruel. 100% match. Not similar. Identical. Every single time. My image never changed because it was never real. I was copied, pasted, placed into someone else's story. He flips through metadata, scrolling fast. Dates appear, 1997, 1998, the same year over and over. "This isn't just editing," he murmurs. "It's fabrication." I sit down hard on the bed, dizzy from the truth. My memories blur and scatter. Did I even remember those events, or just the photos of them? Mom always said I hated cameras. Maybe I wasn't there to begin with. Ethan looks at me carefully, cautious not to push. "You deserve to know the truth," he says quietly. I nod, but my hands are trembling. I suddenly remember my mother brushing my hair before dinner. "You never could tame those curls," she'd said with a sigh. Something about that voice now sounds rehearsed. The kind of affection built from habit, not love. We sit in silence, the hum of the heater filling the room. Ethan clicks between windows, showing me shadow inconsistencies. "The lighting here falls right to left," he says. "But your shadow goes the other way." He pauses, scrolling to another file. The timestamps don't match either. Different times for parts of the same photo. My pulse hammers in my ears. I think of Dad's chuckle at dinner. "You handled it like a pro," he told Clara. But he barely looked at me. I realize how long I've been invisible to them. Ethan closes the laptop and looks at me. "We can ignore it," he says. "Pretend it's nothing, or we can find out why." I can't speak. Every instinct screams to forget, to stay safe. But curiosity cuts deeper than fear. "I want to know," I say finally, my voice shaking. The room feels smaller now, like the walls are listening. He reaches for my hand, grounding me again. Whatever happens next, we both know there's no turning back. Those photos weren't memories. They were evidence. And tonight, the story of my life officially stops being true. Morning comes heavy and cold. I barely sleep, replaying every image in my mind. Ethan drives me back to my parents' house in silence. The sky is gray, the kind of color that makes truth look sharper. Mom opens the door before we even knock. Her smile freezes when she sees Ethan's camera bag. "Back so soon?" she asks, voice too bright. I step inside without answering. Dad stands by the fireplace, hands behind his back. The air feels thick, rehearsed, like a family meeting from a script. "We need to talk," I say quietly. Dad's brows lift, amused. "About what?" "The photos," I answer. "They're fake." Mom's face drains of color. "That's ridiculous," she snaps. "Why would you say that?" Ethan opens his laptop, the blue light glowing across the room. He shows the images, side by side, identical expressions, frozen smiles. Silence fills the house. Dad clears his throat, voice calm but sharp. "Photographers see ghosts in pixels. It's probably just poor film." "It's not film," Ethan says softly. "It's data." Mom closes the album with trembling fingers. "These old things don't matter. Let's talk about your wedding instead." I don't look away. "I want the truth," I say. "Was I even there in those pictures?" The words hang like smoke. Clara shifts uncomfortably, pretending to gather dishes. Dad exhales slowly, his control slipping for the first time. "You're overreacting," he mutters. "You always do." I can hear the edge in his tone, the one that used to silence me. But not today. Overreacting to what? I ask. My own life being fake. Mom stands abruptly, chair scraping the floor. Her voice cracks like glass. "You have no idea what you're saying." "Then tell me what I'm missing," I whisper. Ethan places a hand on my shoulder, steady but firm. He looks straight at them. The metadata shows edits from 1997 to 1998. Dad laughs, a low, humorless sound. "You think a date stamp proves anything?" "It proves someone built a story," Ethan replies. Mom's hands clench around the album until her knuckles turn white. "Stop digging," she hisses. "You'll regret it." Her eyes flash with something between fear and guilt. Clara finally speaks, her voice small. "Emma, just let it go. Mom's upset." I turn to her, the only person who ever felt close to me. "Did you know?" I ask. She looks down. That silence answers everything. Dad steps forward, his shadow swallowing the space between us. "We gave you everything," he says coldly. "A home, education, a future." "You gave me a lie," I reply. For a moment, no one breathes. Ethan closes the laptop and pulls me toward the door. As we leave, Mom's voice trembles behind us. "If you walk away now, don't come back." I pause on the porch, heart pounding. "I was never really here," I whisper. Then I step into the cold air, and the door shuts on everything I thought I knew. That night I can't stop shaking. The truth sits inside me like a ticking clock. Every sound in the apartment feels too loud. The fridge hums, the heater breathes, my heart won't stop. Ethan sleeps beside me, but my mind keeps spinning. If I'm not their daughter, then who am I? I open my laptop and start searching names. Old news archives, refugee databases, missing children lists. Each click feels like tearing open a scar I didn't know I had. Most pages lead nowhere. But one photo catches my breath. A little girl with wild curls and the same eyes as mine. The caption reads, "Missing 1997 Balkan region." I slam the laptop shut, pulse pounding in my throat. My hands won't stop trembling. Ethan wakes and pulls me close. "What did you find?" he whispers. "Nothing," I lie, but my voice cracks. The memory hits before I can stop it. Fluorescent lights, cold floors, papers I couldn't read. A woman's voice saying, "Smile for the camera." Another voice, soft and foreign, calling my name. The sound of crying, then silence. My chest tightens. I remember being told to forget. Forget what? The question repeats until I can't breathe. Ethan brings water, his voice steady, anchoring me again. "You're remembering something real," he says. "I don't want it to be real," I whisper. He opens his laptop and shows me more data. "The edits," he says, scrolling, "all done between 1997 and 1998. The same time you would have been around 4 years old." The numbers blur on the screen. That year again, always that year. "I want to see them," I say. "Your parents?" he asks. I nod, though my stomach twists at the thought. He doesn't argue. Morning light cuts through the blinds, sharp and cold. We drive in silence, the city still asleep. My mind replays every small inconsistency. No baby pictures before age 4. No birth certificate I've ever seen. Mom always said I hated cameras. Maybe I just wasn't there yet. At a red light, Ethan reaches for my hand. "You don't have to face them alone," he says. "I have to," I answer. "If I don't ask now, I'll never know." We park down the street, engine ticking softly. I stare at the house that once meant safety. Now it looks like a stage set built on lies. I remember the chandelier, the perfect plates, the rehearsed laughter. Every part of my childhood suddenly feels borrowed. I need to know where I come from, I whisper. Ethan nods. Then we find out, he says. The truth waits behind that front door. And even though my hands shake, I know I can't turn back anymore. The living room feels colder than I remember. Dad stands by the window, watching us like intruders. Mom sits stiffly on the couch, her hands clenched together. Clara lingers by the doorway, eyes darting between us. I take a deep breath that barely reaches my lungs. The photos, I begin, they're not real. Dad's mouth tightens. We've already discussed this nonsense. No, I say firmly, we haven't discussed anything. Ethan opens his laptop and turns the screen toward them. Side by side, the same image of my face repeats across years. Easter, Christmas, a beach trip, all identical expressions. Mom's lips tremble, but she says nothing. Ethan scrolls through metadata. These were edited in 1997 and 1998, he says. Dad scoffs, trying to sound calm. That proves nothing. It proves I wasn't there, I whisper. The words hang in the air, heavy, final. Mom's eyes fill with tears she doesn't let fall. Clara steps closer. Emma, please, don't do this now. I turn to her slowly. Did you know? Her silence is the answer. I feel the ground tilt beneath me. You lied to me, I say, my voice shaking. We did what was necessary, Dad snaps. For who? I demand. Mom stands suddenly, voice cracking. For all of us. Her hands tremble. You don't understand what we saved you from. Saved me, I ask, or stole me? The room freezes. No one breathes. Ethan breaks the silence softly. We found data from refugee records. Dad's face drains of color. You have no idea what you're talking about, he says. Then explain it, I say, stepping forward. Mom's voice drops to a whisper. There was a war, you were alone. You found me, I finish for her, or bought me. Her face crumples, a sob escaping before she can stop it. Dad glares, his voice low and cold. Watch what you say. I want proof, I say. My birth certificate, my adoption papers. There was a fire, he says quickly. The documents were lost. My heart pounds. There was never a fire. Clara begins to cry quietly. Emma, please, they were just trying to help. I shake my head, tears burning my eyes. They didn't help me, they erased me. Mom covers her mouth, breaking down completely. Dad's mask slips for a second, fear flashing behind his anger. If you keep pushing, he warns, we'll make sure no one believes you. Ethan steps between us. You can't threaten her anymore. Dad's jaw tightens, but he says nothing. I look at both of them, the people who built my entire life on lies. You'll never control my story again, I say. I turn and walk toward the door, my legs unsteady but my heart certain. Behind me, Mom sobs my name, but I don't look back. Outside, the air feels sharp, real, alive. For the first time in my life, I'm walking toward the truth. Days pass in a blur of silence. My phone fills with missed calls from Mom, but I don't answer. Ethan spends nights searching online databases. His eyes are red, but his focus never wavers. One evening, he looks up suddenly. I found something, he says. On the screen, a social media profile appears. A woman in Serbia with my same eyes, my same smile. Her name is Anna Novik. I stare at the image until the edges blur. Ethan scrolls down and clicks on an old post. A photo of a missing child flyer. The girl looks exactly like me at 4 years old. The name under it reads, Liljana Novik, missing since 1997. My pulse pounds so loud I can't hear anything else. Ethan whispers, It's you, Emma. The name sounds foreign and familiar all at once. That night, I dream of a small apartment above a bakery. The smell of cinnamon and soap. A lullaby in a language I almost remember. When I wake, my pillow is wet with tears. We send a message to Anna. Ethan helps me write it, translating every word carefully. I type, "I think you might be my mother." Hours crawl by with no reply. Then, in the middle of the night, the phone buzzes. A message flashes on the screen. She had a daughter taken during the war. Her name was Lil Jana. My hands shake so hard I almost drop the phone. Ethan calls her immediately, setting up a video chat. When the screen lights up, I see her face. Older, tired, but full of something I can't name. She covers her mouth when she sees me. "Moja Circa," she whispers, tears spilling down her cheeks. Her voice cracks on the words, like they've waited decades to escape. I can't breathe. She holds up a faded poster. The same missing child flyer we saw online. The same curls, the same eyes. The same me. "That's me," I whisper, unable to stop crying. She nods, hand trembling. "Yes, my Lil Jana." The truth crashes over me, both beautiful and unbearable. Behind me, Ethan wipes his eyes, trying not to make a sound. We talk for hours, broken words and tears blending together. She tells me about the day I disappeared. Chaos, soldiers, smoke, confusion. A neighbor promised to take me to safety. I never came back. I listen to her voice, every word carving a hole in my chest. She shows me a blue blanket with yellow stars. I remember it. I can feel its fabric, soft and warm against my skin. For the first time, my past feels real. When the call ends, I sit in silence. Ethan places his hand over mine. "You found her," he says softly. I nod, though tears keep falling. "I found me," I whisper. The name echoes in my head. Not Emma. Not Foster. Lil Jana. For the first time in my life, it feels right. Weeks turn into months of investigations. The police gather evidence, documents, DNA results. The Foster family faces federal charges for immigration fraud. I attend every hearing, quiet but unflinching. Mom can't meet my eyes anymore. Dad looks smaller each time I see him, his confidence gone. Clara sends messages I never answer. Ethan stays beside me, steady through every storm. Reporters call it a human tragedy, but to me it's a rebirth. My old name fades with every headline. I sign new papers under my real one, Lil Jana Novick. It feels strange, heavy, and sacred all at once. The government arranges contact with my real mother. Her visa is expedited for humanitarian reasons. Every day, I count the hours until she arrives. At night, I practice Serbian phrases on my phone. The words taste unfamiliar but comforting. Ethan listens and repeats them softly, smiling. Sometimes I dream in Serbian now. I wake up crying, but they are not tears of fear anymore. They are tears of returning. When my mother finally steps into the airport terminal, I freeze. She drops her bag and runs to me. Her hug smells like bread and soap, just as I remembered. No cameras, no lies, just truth breathing between us. We talk through translators, laughter and tears mixing freely. I tell her about the life I lived, the name I carried. She tells me she never stopped looking. 26 years of searching for a daughter stolen by strangers. We spend hours flipping through old photographs. Faded, torn, imperfect, but real. No digital edits, no polished memories. Just life as it was. Ethan takes a picture of us together. It's the first photo of me that feels honest. Weeks later, the court delivers the final ruling. Douglas and Margaret Foster lose their citizenship. They will be deported after serving time. Clara's status remains under review. I feel sadness, but not guilt. Justice doesn't erase pain, but it balances the truth. I pack what little I want to keep from that old house. In a dusty box, I find a small cloth doll with Serbian stitches. I hold it close, the first bridge between two versions of myself. Now, my apartment feels alive again. Our new table is small, mismatched, full of laughter. My mother cooks pastries, and teaches me old recipes. Ethan takes pictures, not staged, not perfect, just real. We plan our wedding, bilingual invitations, printed on cream paper. English on one side, Serbian on the other. It feels right, two worlds finally meeting. Before mailing the invitations, I pause at one envelope. It's addressed to the Fosters. My hand hovers before I seal it. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It's choosing peace over poison. I drop it in the mailbox and breathe. Whatever comes next, I am both Emma and Lil Jonna. Both halves whole again. For the first time in my life, I belong entirely to myself. The morning sun spills across the kitchen table. My mother hums softly while arranging flowers in a vase. Ethan brews coffee, his movements calm and familiar. I watch them both, feeling the quiet weight of peace. No secrets, no lies, just the sound of real life. On the counter sits the last wedding invitation, the one addressed to the Fosters. I trace the embossed letters with my thumb. For years, I wanted revenge, or maybe understanding. Now I only want closure. They built a cage of love around a stolen child. I built freedom from the pieces they left behind. Outside, the mailbox waits in the pale light. I walk barefoot through the grass, envelope in hand. The air smells of rain and spring. When I drop the letter inside, it feels like exhaling. No anger, no hatred, only release. Ethan calls my name from the doorway, his voice warm. My mother laughs in the background, soft and real. I turn back toward the house that holds my true life now. For the first time, I know exactly who I am. And I'm finally free.